Rebelle 7 has gradients, it's got patterns and it's got solid colours as a fill. I'm going to go through the gradients in this tutorial. So here's the fill, just here. Now you've got the usual oil, all those sorts of things, but you can also just select here anytime in the tools panel. So click here in version 7, just go here and you see you've got here fill patterns. Now I don't want to use those, so these are not really valid at this point. What I want is this fill panel, and I've got colour, I've got gradient and I've got pattern. Now if I wanted to use the patterns, I could select that and then you'll notice the gradients go. But if I click there, you've got the gradients there. Now you can dock this or undock this depending on this setting here. So if I click that, it joins with the fill. Click that and it undocks. You might think, where can I find that fill panel? Well, you go to Window, it doesn't appear to be there, but it's actually the properties. It's the properties for this. So if I go to Window and Properties, it disappears. If I go to Window, Properties, it appears. So you get your gradients back. Or how to apply it. Well, you can see the cursor there. And if I click and drag, you can see it just uses the current gradient. So if I go and say select that one, it uses that one. If I click that one, it uses that one. Click that one, it uses that one. And again, I can click at any point, click and drag. That's all you need to do, click and drag. It's not the most instinctive, I have to say. So click and drag. So if you want a very, very thin band, make it very narrow, like that. If you want to spread it out, make it diffuse, sort of spread it like that. So you've got the yellow there, all the way, blending all the way through to the purple. Then just stretch it out. Now, unfortunately, Rebelle 7 doesn't appear to be any way, and I certainly haven't found it. Please put in the comments below if you know of a way to actually make it a radial design. At the moment, it seems to be only linear. There's no diamond, there's no fractal, all those sorts of things. There's no repeat feature. That would be wonderful. However, hopefully version 8, version 9, who knows. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using a tolerance of not 128, but 255. So just select that and no 255 in that field. And then go to the gradient. 255 means the entire design will be used. Anything that's there before will be completely wiped out. So if I've got an image there, if I apply it now, it's applied entirely over the image. But say I set it to not 255. I go for, say, 50. So just enter 50. And I apply this now. And I can use any of these gradients. So apply it like that. But if I apply it again, you can see what happens. You can create some interesting designs simply by using a different tolerance setting. Now, you might not want this. This might not be the result. And for most of the tutorial I'm doing, I'm not going to be using this tolerance of 50. I'm going to keep it at 255. But if I apply it again, say down here, and you can see I can build up all kinds of complex designs just by changing this tolerance setting. I find this a bit hard to manipulate, a bit hard to actually be sure of what I'm going to get. But it does create some interesting designs. And of course, if you're using this with an image, it does create some interesting results as well. So you might cover some parts of the image, some parts obviously that are lower or higher will be covered, etc. But you can see you can create it. But personally, for this purposes, this tutorial, I'm just going to go with 255. And now as I apply this, I can apply it and I don't get sort of these sort of weird, unusual colours in certain parts of the image. It should also be noticed, you don't have to use it for the entire image. You can also use selections. So again, just go and create a selection and then go back to the fill tool and apply it. And you can see you can create a very quick gradient, unusual design using selections. But I find selections a bit easier to manipulate the design than using the tolerance setting. So I generally always put it to 255. And for the purposes of this tutorial, that is what I'm going to be using all the way through. But I wanted to point it out because by default, it's set to 125. So you can see you've got this. So let's just select one. So I select that one. With that applied, I can change it. So I might decide, you know what, I don't want the red. So how to change it? Well, you can see at the end, there's the red there. So click this stop. And you can see as soon as you click it, you've got here opacity. You've got the setting for the tolerance, 255. I'm going to keep that. but you've also got the colour. So you can click and then you get this colour. Now, obviously, if you're on Windows, it'd be slightly different. But here on the Apple, on the Mac, you've got here and you can just change the let's go red, green, and you can go that and click OK. And you can see then it changes to green. Now, at this point, it's not stored. So, and you can see it doesn't actually change it here. Slightly odd the way it does it. Again, that's the way it works. So add gradient. So let's just click it now. So click, and now I've got it added. So again, I can just go here, click there, and now you can see you've got your gradient applied with the colours, obviously white there, yellow, and also green. Goes all the way through. And you can modify it more. So let's just click there, and you can see, tweak it like that, go there, and you can, now you think at this point you could add another one. Yep, you can. Just click it on this. Now, again, it's not particularly instinctive. Sometimes I've noticed I've clicked around here. It doesn't seem to appear. Doesn't seem to create a stop. Not certain why, but still. Once you've got that, you can then change the colour. So let's just go for, say, a red. Click OK. And so now I've got a red there. Again, it's not actually on that screen at this present moment. So again, add gradient. And now you've got the gradient. So with that control there, I can now click here. And you can see now I've got my new gradient applied. So you can add multiple gradients. And you've got a small selection, not a huge selection. It would be nice if there were, but it's not. Well, with those, you can now, of course, work with this. You don't have to keep just this design. And if you want to freeze it, simply the best way I've found is simply just go off to another tool. So go like that. And you've got this gradient design. Now what you can do is you can apply your brush strokes to it, watercolours say, and so on. Create all kinds of different designs if that's what you want to do. Again, undo. Now maybe you decide, you know what, I like that gradient and I can tweak it. You've got some various edit and transform, and you can use deform, warp. So you can warp it and you can sort of distort it so you can see warp the design. So you can create some interesting just simply by going to that. Obviously it breaks it apart there, not ideal, but you can see you can warp it to a degree. And then you can say click OK. So click OK and you've got a slightly warped gradient, which is quite nice. But you can also then go to layer and new layer. So this is the best way. You can, of course, continue to add gradients and manipulate it, but I find it easier to manipulate it with another layer. So layer, and then go here again to your fill, and again use the gradient, make certain you selected that, and again click and drag. And you can see you can now add that, or any of the others. You could select another one, say, perfectly reasonable. Just select them here from the gradients over here. Well, once you've done that, you can also go to the layers. So layers, and you've got blending. You might want to say reduce the opacity. So you can see as you reduce it down, like that, maybe make it 44, you can see the underlying layer. But you've also got that gradient as well, which you can still manipulate. You can still move it around, change it. But also what you can do, gain layers, maybe increase that, go here to blending modes, so multiply, or maybe difference. And you can see you can create that. And again, you can still move that around and blend it and change in a variety of different ways to create an interesting colour effect. You don't have to go with that, of course. You can always go layer and maybe go with exclusion, or maybe go with subtract, or screen, and so on, to create all kinds of different. But what you can also do is, of course, you can always duplicate that layer. So layer and duplicate layer, and you can do exactly the same. So again, click on there and just drag that around, and you can see you can create multiple different designs, which can then, you've got the layers there, you can change that and go with different, say, or maybe change the opacity. And you can move them around. So you decide, just drag that up and down, again, to create a different design for your work. You can also go here, layer, and you can merge visible layers. So you can merge them all. So merge visible layers, and it's all merged into a single design that you can then again simply go over here and you've got various tools here. Let's go for blend. And of course you can then blend it in and create more interesting gradient effect simply by applying any kind of brush stroke. Now I'm just using the mouse for very quick purposes, but an art pad and pen to create different gradient designs very quickly that way. You can apply a gradient, but you can also manipulate the layer that you've applied the gradient to. So I've just done that. I can then go here and select the transform. Now you need this panel, transform. There is no panel called transform. What you need to do is go to window and properties. Window properties to bring it back. And you'll notice you've got 4 options. You've got here transform, you've got deform, perspective and warp. I just want to transform it first. So I'm just going to resize this. You can move this around and I can squeeze it like that to create a very, very intense gradient bar-like design. And of course you can create all kinds of different designs. You can rotate it, but I'm just going to go with this. The key thing to remember is always to click OK. Otherwise, as soon as you use any other tool, it'll just go back to the basic standard size layer. So make certain you click OK. And now you've got this design. Well, what you can then do is you can manipulate this. So again, you've got here transform. You can see your layer. But you can always go to layer and duplicate layer. And with that, again, you can move it. So reposition there. And you've got that. So you can create multiple layers. So again, layer and duplicate. And again, go here and move that. And so on. Click OK. It's always best to click OK afterwards. Otherwise, sometimes it does have a tendency to forget and just go back. And you can repeat this to create, of course, a fairly complex gradient design. And of course, you can select all of them or maybe slightly shift it because I've got slightly out there. Got them all there. You can then go down here to layer and again, merge visible layers. So they're all merged into one. Do exact same. You've got your layer here. Now you can see I've just slightly made a mistake. You can line it up better. Unfortunately, there's no align feature, as far as I'm aware, in Rebelle. It would be nice if there was. So with that, again, you can always then go to layer and duplicate again. And with that, again, select transform and move that down. And you can see you can build up a fairly complex design. You can also, if you want, apply it there and rotate it. And you can see you can create a design like that. And again, click OK. You can also, once you've got this design, you can then go to layer and you can go to merge visible. So it's all merged into a single layer. And then you go over here and blend. And you can blend them, again, creating interesting gradient designs just by blend. And of course, you've got a vast range of different brushes to use. I'm just using one. And you can also use Express, Watercolor, and so on to combine with your gradient design. You could have, of course, this single gradient design here and then manipulate it with another transform tool. Don't have to just use just your basic transform. Click here, transform, and with this you can manipulate it, but you'll notice you've also got others. You can go for deform. So deform, you can like create something like that or squeeze it up like that way, or cancel, or maybe again transform. Always goes back, unfortunately, to the default state. I want this one, perspective. So click there and then apply perspective. And you can see you can just drag that down to create a lovely perspective design. And again, make certain you click OK. And you've got that design. And of course, you can create more than just 3 lines of this gradient. You can also manipulate it using the warp transform as well. Just go over here in the tools panel, select this, warp. Now, it may not display that, and you can set it via the transform, and that is window and properties. There's no, again, transform panel. And you just go down here, select warp, set the number of split. I'm going to go with 7, but you can set it to 4 or 5. And also you can add additional splits here. Once you've got that, you can then go to these nodes and you can manipulate it. Simply click and click and click. Now it's slightly tedious to go through all these. So if you want to manipulate it nicely, you might want to go down to the bottom one, go there to create a sort of, but it's not unfortunately full of presets. It would be nice if you could manipulate each of them, but you can do it with a bit of time. Just simply drag this up, drag that up, and drag that up. But it's not the quickest, I have to admit. So again, just click there and go down the bottom one there. It's best to do it in a particular order. If you do it the wrong order, you'll suddenly find that it doesn't look that great. So I would suggest sort of go into that central bit and then go in there. And you can see as you do it, just leave those untouched and just drag that up there to create a warp design, or anything else, of course. Doesn't have to be this sort of design, but it is a bit of a slow sort of thing. It would be great if Rebelle 8 had some presets. I don't know why there isn't any presets, but still, that's what. And sometimes I've noticed that sometimes it's very hard to click these actual points. Doesn't always select it. So manipulate it a bit more, just try to drag that one up. Once you're happy with it, and of course, I'm probably mistakenly missed a couple, you can then press OK. Always remember to do that, otherwise all your work perhaps will be lost. So click OK, and there is your design. And of course, you can then manipulate it again. Always go back, again, click this, and then you can manipulate this even more. So again, just distort that and maybe change and tweak it, drag that down, and maybe create different designs. So it's not always possible to manipulate the gradient all in one go. It's nice to just go back to it 3 or 4 times with your transform. Sadly, there's no repeat transform feature. That will be brilliant. Again, maybe something for Rebelle 8. And again, remember to click OK. Exactly the same as before, you can always manipulate this more. So click there, and you can then go to the transform, go to the transform option, that's the one I want, and you can move it around. You can also resize this and distort this design in additional ways. And again, click OK. Go to layer and duplicate layer, go to the transform tool, and then manipulate that and move this down. And of course, you can continue to modify it. You might want to rotate it, but you can also again click OK, and again layer and duplicate, again go to transform and move that down. And you can build up obviously a complex design. Again, click OK and layer, and then merge visible layers to build up some really interesting gradients. Hope you found this tutorial of interest. Any questions, please let me know in the comments below. A like or dislike, always appreciated. Thank you much.